Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
No more following Granny's rules. Don't wear your pants on your head, Harry. Don't bath on the butler, Harry. If I want to play polo in my living room, who's gonna stop me?
Stop that.
How great was Imelda Staunton in The Crown? Wasn't she amazing? Her portrayal of the Queen was so good, Prince Harry called Herford and asked her for money.
Hey.
Did you know it's cold in there?
Yeah.
Must be an American thing.
It's not.
It seriously is driving me crazy. I'm sick of hearing about them, but I can't get away from them. They're everywhere, in my face.
Look, Kyle, we just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid wife.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, hit the baby mama when I'm stepping through the door. Yeah, I'm pregnant, but I got an ill flow. Trying to make some money, buy some huggies from the store. S to the T, A, double R.
Just a great series about a rich, white, dysfunctional family, all scheming. Oh no, that's The Crown. That's The Crown. I'm sorry.
But they're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways.
Just like her Netflix show, just like her first podcast with Spotify, just like her most recent podcast utterly backfired. Here's a headline about that. We haven't talked about this on the show, but she started a new podcast called Confessions of a Female Founder.
That's fine, I'll go it alone. Just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Sir, your millions from Netflix for no one knows what.
Put it with the rest of them.
Babe, time to do our daily $250,000 sponsored Instagram post for Del Taco.
I shouldn't have left the made-up nonsense.
If you came up with the picture of an annoying, insufferable white woman, it would be Meghan Markle, even though she's not white.
They will not bend the knee and just go along with the nonsense. That's what's so annoying about them. The most of all, they insist that you go along with their nonsense and their insanity and their fragility.
When Joe Koy stepped onto the Golden Globe stage, he didn't just deliver a comedy monologue, he set off a cultural earthquake. His jokes about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry weren't just throwaway lines. They were the moment Hollywood's private opinions about the royal rebels finally spilled out in public. For years, the couple controlled their image with carefully curated interviews, Netflix deals, and dramatic sit-downs. But all it took was a handful of sharp punchlines to shatter that facade. And once the dam broke, the flood was unstoppable. From late-night hosts to British puppet shows to South Park and stand-up stages around the world, Meghan and Harry became comedy's most reliable target. But beneath the laughter was something much deeper, a collective judgment of their story. Today, we'll break down how comedians, celebrities, and commentators dismantled their narrative piece by piece, and why the world hasn't stopped laughing since.
You have generously offered to keep the wax figures of Harry and Meghan safe.
Yeah, that's correct. And if I may, I would just like to say that I'm definitely not using the wax figures for sex stuff.
It all started with Joe Koy's first target, the drama of the royal family. He compared it to The Crown, calling it a show about a rich, dysfunctional white family scheming for power. Then he twisted the knife further with a jab at Harry himself, suggesting the prince was so broke he was calling actresses from the show to borrow money. But the most savage line of all was reserved for Meghan and Harry's infamous Netflix deal. Koy summed up Hollywood's frustration in one brutal sentence. Turns out Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing, and that's just by Netflix. The audience roared. This wasn't just comedy, it was the release of a sentiment many in Hollywood already felt, but never said aloud. That moment gave others permission to openly mock the couple, setting the stage for what came next.
I watched the Harry and Meghan Netflix documentary. Now, I'll be honest with you, before I watched it, I was not a fan of theirs. But now I've actually heard their side of the story, I f***ing hate them.
Shortly after Koy's jokes, the criticism took an unexpected turn. Actress Alexandra Daddario revealed her irritation when Meghan visited her favorite New York yoga studio. What sounded like a minor gripe was actually a perfect metaphor for Meghan's public image. Daddario explained that ever since Meghan dropped in, the studio became overcrowded and she couldn't enjoy her usual workouts. The presence of a celebrity disrupted the balance of a space that once felt normal and private. It's a small example, but it captured how Meghan has become a symbol of disruption for others in the industry, even fellow celebrities. She doesn't just attract paparazzi or press, she alters the environment around her. Daddario's complaint wasn't malicious, but it echoed the broader frustration. Meghan's brand seemed to overshadow everyone else's comfort, even in something as simple as yoga. That sentiment fueled the firestorm of criticism that was already brewing.
Oh, Pads, you cracked me up. Not that sort of crack, obviously.
Late-night hosts quickly joined the pylon. Jimmy Fallon zeroed in on Meghan's strange Netflix lifestyle segment, where she relabeled prepackaged snacks. Instead of cooking, she took pretzels out of one bag and placed them into another with her own label. Fallon's audience laughed, but the mockery stung because it revealed something deeper. Meghan's carefully crafted image of being relatable and hands-on came across as fake. In Hollywood, where every gesture is scrutinized, such moments are seen as tone-deaf displays of privilege. Fallon turned what Meghan thought was creative branding into a symbol of absurdity. The joke was simple but effective. If Meghan Markle's big contribution to her Netflix deal was rebagging pretzels, then maybe Joe Koy was right. Maybe the couple really was being paid millions to do nothing. The ridicule wasn't just funny, it was exposing the gap between Meghan's self-presentation and how the public actually saw her.
Meghan Markle has finally revealed why she and Prince Harry call each other M and H.
And he'll say M and you'll say H and your friends say M and it just is a thing.
It's a thing.
And do you both love it?
Yes, and I like nicknames a lot.
What could it be? A mystery for the ages.
Stephen Colbert piled on by mocking Meghan and Harry's private nicknames, M and H. To the couple, it was a sign of intimacy. To Colbert, it was comedy gold. His audience laughed at how self-important such tiny details sounded. Meanwhile, Saturday Night Live took a much sharper approach. Colin Jost compared Harry marrying Meghan to Elon Musk buying Twitter, a confusing decision that squandered status and reputation. The implication was clear. Just as Musk's Twitter obsession looked irrational compared to his bigger achievements, Harry's choice to leave royalty for Meghan seemed equally baffling. These jokes cut deeper because they went beyond mocking quirks. They questioned Harry's entire judgment. The laughter wasn't just about nicknames or bagged pretzels. It was about the couple's choices, their priorities, and the perception that they had traded centuries of royal legacy for the fleeting drama of Hollywood fame.
Then when he gets in, he wakes me up and Googles to see if I'm still fifth in line to the throne.
Fifth in line?
Yeah. If Kate and Wills have any more kids, I'll move down another notch.
Saturday Night Live went even further with recurring sketches featuring Prince William and Prince Harry. The sketches exaggerated William's thinning hair and portrayed Harry as dim-witted and desperate. Meghan was frequently reduced to a punchline, usually revolving around her old show suits. One gag suggested Suits was so boring it could be used to put kids to sleep. These jokes weren't subtle, they hammered the idea that Harry and Meghan lacked real cultural weight. Instead of being seen as victims of an institution, they became caricatures of themselves. SNL's constant lampooning showed just how much the couple had become entertainment fodder. The fact that one of America's biggest comedy institutions repeatedly mocked them proved that the ridicule wasn't a one-off moment. It was now mainstream. Once SNL adopts you as a regular joke, you're no longer a serious figure. You're a fixture of pop culture parody.
What about television? Do you have a Netflix account?
Yeah, it's got about $9 million in it.
Mamalado!
Across the Atlantic, the legendary British puppet satire Spitting Image unleashed a brutal version of Harry. Puppet Harry described himself as a regular guy with a title and bragged about making a fortune podcasting, despite having no discernible talent. The show portrayed him as lazy, entitled, and obsessed with his position in the royal line of succession. Even his workouts were mocked. While his butler ran a 10K, Harry supposedly stayed in bed. The show didn't spare Meghan either, mocking their Netflix deal as a pure cash grab. By exaggerating their flaws, Spitting Image amplified what critics already believed, that Harry and Meghan were untalented opportunists clinging to royal relevance while pretending to be free. Being lampooned on Spitting Image is a British tradition reserved for politicians, monarchs, and global figures. For Meghan and Harry, it was proof they had become not just celebrities, but public punching bags.
The best thing is, no more following Granny's rules. Don't wear your pants on your head, Harry. Don't barf on the butler, Harry.
Then came the knockout blow from South Park. Their episode, The Worldwide Privacy Tour, mocked Meghan and Harry as hypocrites demanding privacy while parading themselves in front of cameras. They shouted, "We want privacy," while holding banners and doing TV interviews. The show also ridiculed Harry's memoir, portraying him as whining about privilege while insisting his life was hard. Meghan was mocked as an Instagram-loving wife, desperate for attention. The episode's most iconic scene showed the couple leaving Canada for somewhere quiet, only to complain when they actually found it. The satire captured what millions already thought. Meghan and Harry don't actually want privacy. They want attention on their terms. The fact that South Park, known for skewering global icons, dedicated an entire episode to them, cemented their status as cultural laughingstocks. It wasn't just a roast. It was a declaration that their narrative no longer held weight.
If I want to play polo in my living room, who's gonna stop me?
Stop that!
Right away, Meg.
On the stand-up stage, Chris Rock took Meghan to task over her infamous Oprah interview. Meghan claimed she didn't realize the royal family had a history of racism. Rock wasn't buying it. He compared her ignorance to someone marrying into the Budweiser family and being shocked they drank beer. He called the royals the original racists, pointing out how absurd it was to claim surprise at centuries-old behavior. The brilliance of Rock's joke was its simplicity. Everyone in the audience understood it instantly. Meghan's story didn't add up. Rock's punchline reframed her narrative from victimhood to naivety, even willful ignorance. By mocking her in such a straightforward way, he stripped away the sympathy her interview had generated. For many, that was the final nail. If Meghan couldn't even get Chris Rock on her side, then maybe her story wasn't as convincing as she wanted the world to believe.
What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy. How dare you, sir? My Instagram-loving wife has always wanted her privacy!
British comedian Simon Brodkin also tore into the couple after hate-watching their Netflix documentary. He admitted he disliked them before, but after watching, he said, "I hate them." He mocked their H&M nicknames as pretentious, Harry's fun grenade date story as cringe, and Meghan's struggle with curtsying as ridiculous. For Brodkin, these moments revealed the couple as self-important, out of touch, and even boring. But what pushed him over the edge was their complaint about paying for their own security. To a multi-millionaire couple, it was an absurd grievance. Brodkin summed up what many viewers felt. The more the couple talked, the less likable they became. Instead of winning sympathy, their documentary turned even skeptics into critics. Brodkin's savage commentary showed that Meghan and Harry's attempt to control their story through Netflix had backfired spectacularly, leaving comedians with even more ammunition to use against them.
They're ridiculous after that. They want it both ways. You know, you can't be, these people were so mean to us, poor us, and we don't want all this attention, and then let me write a book about how much we don't want attention.
Finally, Nikki Glaser and Bill Maher delivered the harshest reality checks. Glaser joked that if Meghan hadn't married Harry, she'd just be a barista fighting for roses on The Bachelor. It was brutal because it stripped away all glamour, suggesting Meghan's fame was built solely on luck. Bill Maher went deeper, calling the couple fragile hypocrites. He contrasted their constant whining with Queen Elizabeth's stoic motto, "Never complain, never explain." To Maher, Meghan and Harry's demand for sympathy was insulting, given their immense privilege. Worse, he said, was their expectation that the world go along with their narrative. Maher refused to bend the knee to what he saw as nonsense. Between Glaser's sharp joke and Maher's philosophical verdict, the message was clear. Meghan and Harry's story wasn't just flawed, it was fundamentally unconvincing. The public wasn't buying it anymore. And comedy had become the vehicle for that rejection. In the end, the story of Meghan and Harry's global roast isn't just about comedy, it's about credibility. From Joe Koy at the Golden Globes to Chris Rock, Nikki Glaser, and Bill Maher, the laughter carried a deeper message. The public no longer believed the Sussexes' carefully curated narrative. Instead of shaping their image, their actions fueled punchlines. And once comedians, the modern-day jesters of society, start defining your story, it's nearly impossible to reclaim it. The irony is striking. Meghan and Harry left the royal family to escape being controlled by an institution, but they've ended up trapped in a new one, the court of public opinion, where the only currency is authenticity. And right now, the verdict is laughter. The real question is whether they can ever recover their image, or if they're destined to remain the world's most famous punchline.